At RaiseCredit.com, we know it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. At RaiseCredit.com, we've got your back up. You can get the life you really want. RaiseCredit.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Reynolds here from RaiseWebinar.com. Ultimate goal is to get you past go. We'll tell you what that means as we go through this, free overview. The goal is to get you to million. Some of you probably will get to billion if you just follow through. Now, information is protected in many, many ways. Please get a tablet and a pen. You're going to need to take some notes today. Now, here's a toll-free number. You can give it a call when I'm done. All right, it's basically toll-free 800-510-3338. The ultimate goal is to basically plan the problems. I know it kind of sounds backwards, doesn't it? If we plan on having problems, all right, we can get through it. If we understand safety credit, it's pretty simple. See, this is $100,000 of credit. Can't write off a card or interest rate at all. But personal credit, most people, what they do is they think it's free money, but then they kind of jack it up, kind of get stuck, can't get any more. So let's do this about personal credit. Let's call it safety for a minute. All right, let's write down on the back of the sticky of every credit card you have the limit and 25 to 29%. You see, that way when you pull it out and kind of going to jack it up again, it kind of reminds you, stop. All right, don't do that at all. Now, line of defense. The line of defense is like when you see that grocery store in your local city and that bank, they close down the location. You see, they're still in business, but they bankrupt a piece. You know what they did? They wrote that loss on their taxes and wrote it off. But they're still in business today. The average person, when they have a problem, they bring the pain home and they can't do it again. Bottom line is this, don't bring the pain home. We got the ability to learn from me. God gave me a gift, I want to give it to you too. Bottom line is see how your journey begins. So, when I was a little boy, I got to be with Mrs. Hope. All right, from 3 to 10 years old. She dropped me off Redondo Beach Pier every morning. All right, at 6:30, from the age of 3 to 10 years old. You see, like I said, she got her weekly monthly checks, but she was the she-devil from hell. I didn't like stealing and begging off the pier. So I used what God gave me, called my brain. So I got my Lamborghini collection, started that at 14 and a half. Got my Duffies, I got my mansions, I broke some world records too. Had some fun. I put my race boat in my backyard, had my helicopter, had my yachts. And guess what? My Ferraris too. The bottom line for you is this, very simple, not to brag. The bottom line is show you can be done. If I can do it, so can you. See, I was born in a taxi on the way to Gardena Hospital. Do yourself a favor right now, write down Ray's rules. Remember, and if you don't know, I wrote Winning the Game of Business 43 years ago. So what I learned as a kid, all right, is to connect the dots. I learned that a corporation is a legal person. You might want to write that down today. When I started Helping Hand Industries, I was 9.5 years old. I got $100,000 in the mail, and I go, what happened to this? See, back then they send credit in the mail without applying for personal or even business too. Now, if you give me about 90 days, what we're going to do is pretty simple. I want to make sure you understand. At every seminar, workshop, and boot camp, you're stuck with me. I'm not going to pass the buck. All right? I'm going to get you in the direction to the $1 million dream. As we do this, it's like most people. When they lose their job, they got an emergency, and what happens next? They run out of time, they run out of money, and I'm sorry to say they jack up their credit in 42 days because they're using the wrong money in the first place. Let's see if I explain that to you through this overview. Now, I'm the guy that was training Ken Yarborough years ago. He was security chief at TRW in Aspiria. If you allow me today, I'd like to train you a little bit, if you do. Write down Credit Services Act. Google it later today. Take you to what? It'll take you to the Federal Trade Commission. Well, they say credit repair is a scam and not allowed to collect money up front. They're going to refer to you to the Credit Repair Organization Act, where it says attorneys can't do credit repair. So let's understand, I like to build a relationship with you, and I like to help you get to your dreams. So the first thing we got to do is start in the beginning. You see, we all got an SSN when we were a teenager to get a job. So pull out your Social Security card. You see, if you read it front and back, it's going to tell you, don't laminate, don't use for ID purposes, don't carry with you, it's not even yours. So understand, when you fill out that application as a teenager, To get the job, it was only to connect the 1040 tax return to basically tax you some more. But the bottom line today, on the card it says it's property of such administration, not you. So remember, when you write it down on an application, you're actually breaking the rules. And the creditors, they're breaking the rules all the time. Remember, I can block the garbage if you have any and push your score up and build you some more credit. That can be personal or business. Personal, I can't write off, neither can you. But a corporation, oh yeah, we can. That could be kind of fun. Now, I want to repackage your life if you allow me to. That's basically from the house, the car, the bank account. So understand something today. Never bring the pain home. I've been in 2 comas in my life. One as a kid, one as an adult. I've used credit every time to get out of that. So when somebody told me money for a rainy day as a kid, I asked them to explain it to me and they could not. See, in my life it never rains, it always pours. Bottom line is this today. If you needed $5,000, you needed it today. All right, would you ask your friends, your family, and the bank when they say no? Or would you have a safety credit card in your hand like I do, or the one on the screen? If we had to use this credit card to save ourselves or get rid of that problem today, and we had to max it up, we'd play catch up, not fall down. But the payment is only $50 a month. The average person wastes that almost every other day. Now remember something they always say about most of you. You waste $140 a week. I don't know if it's true. But on this $100,000 of credit, remember personal credit, can't write off the card or the interest rate at all. But if I had to jack up one of those cards today, the payment is $612.26. So what the average person is wasting on a given month, they could have got 2 pizza locations, all right, they delivered it through a drive-through. You see, what we got to realize is we got to pick a business that's open through what? Pandemics. Never bring the pain home. The bottom line is today, let's plan the problem. I'm sorry, someone's going to piss you off, get in your way, try to take it away. But if we plan the problem, we can get through it. But the tool of safety credit and line of defense, will see it, believe it, go get it. Bottom line is going to be up to you. I want you to set up your goals. Okay? I want you to basically make that goal list and believe in you. Now, here's the problem with the half of you, at least. You got 1 foot in the boat and 1 foot on shore. You haven't made a full commitment. In the past, you kind of wasted thousands of dollars, and you're afraid who's going to take advantage of you next. Bottom line is this. I believe in God and I believe in me. All right? When I broke the world's record for the highest kick on the planet in 1981, still hold today, it proved that white men do jump. Silly people say we don't. You see, I don't listen to the people that say this or that about what you can and cannot do. All I know is God gave us a gift and a dream. Let's go get it. You got to get out of your own way sometimes. SSN, you got the job, you got the 1040 tax return. That's all it was for. But what happens now? The creditors use it and abuse it. So do you, some of you. You got your Spear and your Equifax TransUnion too. Let's understand something today. If you jack up a card past 29%, you drop your score, you get stuck, you can't get any more. Remember the other thing about an SSN today? Remember, we are the collateral for the United States of America, Incorporated, by the way. Next thing is, remember when Nixon took the gold standard out? All right, they got the key to the printing press. So let's take a tablet and pen. Let's write this down, please. Raise rules. $100,000 of credit. I know some people say that's crazy. No, you know what's crazy? When you lose your job, you don't have enough money or credit to basically feed your family up to 2 years. 29%, $71,000 of safety credit. Pandemic or lose your job, you can feed your family to 2 years. When you take all your money and credit from the family and you roll the dice, you kind of screw it up and bring the pain home. Please start using the right money. Please take basically what I have to say, because like some of my clients, I tell them to daisy chain that credit to the divisions. And sometimes they do, but a lot of times they don't. Use the right money in the first place, please. The bottom line is called raise rules. First coma, 5.5 years old, hit my face with the curb. Second coma, 2009. You see, there I am, and I died at 5:41. All right, I had H1N1, as it says right there, pandemic number 9. Made a promise to God that day I'd help people the rest of my life. That's why I'm here helping you. You see, there's my yacht and my race boat parked in my backyard at the time. That's the largest U-Dock in Huntington Harbor. I'm kind of from show me state, show me or shut up. A lot of people go blah, blah, blah. I can make every one of you a millionaire or a billionaire if you listen to me. And let me do most of the work for you anyway. After the coma, I got to get up, but I walked around with an oxygen tank for 5 weeks. I knew how to block all the crap, put my score back to an 820. Then I popped a $1 million credit card again. Understand, half of you today, you're actually clients of mine. All right, and you want the motivation too. Do yourself a favor, write down closet division. All right, that's exactly how I got up in 6 weeks. You got the ability, but we don't get a do-over now. We get to live or die. I'd suggest wear a mask, but that's an argument too. Bottom line is it takes a moment to die and a lifetime to live. Pandemic 9, Pandemic 19, what about the next one that'll come around? You see, I want you chasing the money. See, money to me, I don't have to steal and beg off the pier. I can feed my family, I can pay my bills, I can help you. Bottom line is this, I have 3, listen carefully, this is 3 fallouts. Now, what this means is very simple. I have 3 customers, I built the history, built the corporation, built everything they need, all right, and the bottom line is, all right, they didn't pay their balance. So what happens is very simple. One of these, we're going to sell it and give the money to the wife, all right, because the husband did not make it through COVID-19. So let's understand something today. If you want me to basically give you the $1 million that person didn't pay their balance, it's $19,950. We'll transfer it over to you and build you up, and now you got $1 million. But that's corporate credit, not personal credit at all. The $250,000 is corporate credit too. The next one is actually personal credit, $100,000 and $50,000 a corporation. So if you paid the balance today, all right, what happens is it's pretty simple. We're going to transfer and give it to you and finish building it up and be done. And that way you can enjoy that credit to build your business today. But keep in mind, this is through me. When you call the sales team and you ask about this, and you want me to give away a commission to someone who didn't sell it, let me know and I'll charge you 10% more. All right? You see, there's a problem. Most people don't like their job. You know what? We're getting older, slower. We're not as pretty as we used to be. Kind of sucks, but you know what? When they fire us, when they fire you, you're going to go deliver some pizza. I don't think that's your dream. Is that true? So let's understand something today. Bottom line is books and CDs. I listened to the poker game at the Hope family's house. I was 7.5. They said a corporation's a legal person. I heard for me my way out of hell if I could figure it out. Library said, here's a book, here's a microfiche. I read the book. You know, one of the things that really bothers me when I buy a book, I want to get something out of it. Anywhere from 10 to 50 things that help me do what I need to do better. Well, the reality is if you spent thousands or you bought books how to make money and get rich, here's someone else's story. If you want the true A through Z, 1 through 12 books, it's right in front of you. Real estate, financial series, buckets of money too. Bottom line is, I even wrote Winning the Game of Business. Here's my life's work on a blueprint. When I was at the Bonaventure for 32 years every Wednesday night, there was a line around the hotel to get a hold of me. Between classes and books and CDs, it was about $20,000 a pop. But I turned everybody into millionaires and billionaires. So, when we got the books out of someone's warehouse last year, you got the ability to change your life too. I'd tell you flat out, get the book CDs and get to my classes with me if you really want to go get it. The sales team sells it for about $1,000 for 18 books and CDs. If you don't have it today, all right, the discount is $249 if you did it during the webinar with me. If not, call sales later today. They want to make their commission too. See, the bottom line is it's what I offer during the webinar. I'm going to tell you, I love Zelle, deposits, or wires, so I can track it and expedite everything for you. I don't like merchants at all. There's our Zelle, wire, and deposit information today. It's pretty simple to do. All right, well, I will just tell you basically just email Gina. She's in charge of the shipping and handling for those products today. What I like to really do is rebuild your credit. It's like Mike here. I rebuilt his credit. I got him a gold card, $1 million card. Mr. Major here's pissed off at me because of Ed. All right, why? Because Ed, I got him a card, and I got it preset for a limit of $100,000. But Mr. Major, his problem is he doesn't basically listen. He violates all the time, jacks it up, and I can't stop him from running away. So I told him the other day, if you just do what I tell you to do, all right, you can follow through. It's like Mr. Glover here has been a client of mine for 30 years. Can you get people to listen sometimes? Most of the time, no. Sometimes, yes. So if I do the credit rebuilding, the rapid rescore, corporations, book CDs, and classes, and you can write down on the back of every card you have a sticky limit, 25 to 29%. Can you do that today? Some of you, basically, I'm waiting for you to get your limits down because you jacked them up because you thought you should live on your money and on your credit too. You got to realize personal credit needs to be safety credit. All right, we need to put it aside, let it be boring, and become a qualified CFO. See, making money's fun for me. Real estate. It could be a duplex, fixer-upper, duplex, and apartment complex. I'd like to convince all of you to do a franchise. Why? Because even if you don't want to run it, it's got a drive-through. You see, during no matter whatever pandemic we have and now in the future, it'll be open 24/7. Profit sharing as well. Now, when I was incorporating Rich and Famous People, Leveraging Money 84 Ways up to $100 million, we got a leveraging class this Saturday, and probably half of you are going to miss it because every Saturday my classes are sold out and they can't get in. Like this last Saturday, they called the office to try to get in at the last minute. Why do people do things at the last minute? So here's the specialty classes because last Saturday was sold out. Currently, I got 17 million clients. Most of them, I tell them to do this and that, they do it. The new ones, they have to take a while. But you know what? Sold out means sold out. Leveraging class this Saturday. All right, it's very simple. It's 7 a.m. You might want to write it down if you want to be there. It's $299. Now, if you miss it, it doesn't come around for 7 weeks. Bottom line, that's up to you. Now, I got a Dun & Bradstreet class that day, too, at 2:30 in the afternoon. Supply credit and vendor credit. That's $299 to you, too. So both classes are basically about $600. Okay? The bottom line is the office wants to sell it for more. But during the webinar, you can sell if you want this one or that or both, and you get the discount through me. Now, let's talk about a Lamborghini, my favorite car. Could you imagine you today, you drive a company car and you're the registered owner? Why? It should be a division and a tax ID, by the way. Just like that Lamborghini in the collection at the time, they're all divisions and tax IDs. And a corporation gets a write off a company car. But you get your paycheck, you have to pay tax, and you get the leftover. Now you pay for a car you should not. Then you're taking most of your money from the family and rolling the dice. Please stop doing that. You see, today, I'd like to get you a company car. Let's understand, they call your paycheck, I hear it called taxable income, by the way. If you're paying the payment, the gas, registration, insurance, can you yell the word no? I don't get it. When we bought that brand new Cadillac last year, $105,000, got a wholesale price for $72,000. It's under a tax ID in a division. Why would anybody want to be a registered owner? I don't get that. Okay, why are you I just asked the question, why are you the registered owner on your car? Makes you a duck. The one someone just typed here and said, because no one told me. Hell, no one told me. I had to master the rules and tools by the time I'm 9.5 years old. SSN. Remember, job, what? 1040 tax return. SS 4 times 4, the pattern of 3. Line 10 says banking and credit purposes, right in front of you. See, here's the thing. All right, you got to basically jump in with 2 feet. This is your last year. This is the last year that gives you the ability in your life to be the $1 million dream. And I'm going to do the most work for you anyway. So the bottom line, if you want, I'll build you the what? All right, per tax ID, credit reports called Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Remember the grocery store and the bank in your city today? You're going to see some empty ones before or during COVID-19. Look right here. This is Chase. 94 locations closed down per year on an average, all right, before the COVID-19. Bank of America, 129 locations before that too. Remember something today. Here's your life. Corporation, 3 divisions, line of defense, All right? And what happens if one thing goes wrong with the piece? We're going to disconnect, isolate, incorporate. We're never going to bring the pain where? Home ever again. Why would anybody bring the pain home in the first place? I don't understand. Listen very carefully. Every tax ID I get you, if I do it, I'm building you the reports, credit reports. Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. Okay? And sometimes when people try it on their own, it just doesn't work. Why? You have to be a qualified and certified bonded affiliate in the first place. So the goal is this. SS 4 times 4 is a pattern of 3. Please don't name a corporation after you. Don't name it what it does. Have a line of defense. You know, if you had 5 houses, I'd tell you 5 divisions. Franchises have numbers too. Your current business as well. I like getting $100,000 cards to $1 million cards. You see, it doesn't cost any more for me to do whatever limit. I get to preset the limit for you. It's kind of fun. I'm going to tell you, you should have $100,000 more personal credit. Don't use more than 29%. Put it aside. Keep it boring like I do on mine. Because you got to realize, when you take the money and credit from the family, it hurts the family. Never bring the pain home. Ray's rules are simple. SSN equal the 1040 tax return. SS4 equal on what line 10? It's right in front of you again. It says credit and banking purposes. That means we can write off the interest rate in the card. The bottom line is like anything else. It's like Mr. Glover here. When I got him a card recently, I'll bet you he hasn't daisy chained into the divisions I told him to. I bet you Mark didn't do it either. See, how are you going to multiply when there's only 9 cards you can get, period? It's called divisions. The bottom line is, at least, all right, Ed did listen about the gold card. I got him one for $100,000. And Mr. Major's pissed off because I want mine too. Ed listens, Mr. Major. Quit jacking it up and down like a yo-yo. Here's what I'm talking about. Out of 100 people a week, new clients, 6 people always violate the rules. I add history, all right? And what happens? They get green lights and get these things in the mail. Then they apply for credit, and they violate everything we're trying to do. Please don't do that anymore. I mean, she did it right at the last point. I'm getting ready to get her a $30,000 card. She popped a $300 card. Don't you realize my dashboards of $10 million of history is what popped the limits for you? This one had no credit left. Open Sky. I owed him $1,000 of credit. My first starter card's $3,000. Again, if all you want today from me is I'm going to rebuild your credit with a rapid rescore, I want you to go to the educational classes on Saturday for 3 months to learn some more. I wanted you to know that sales sells this for $9.98. It's a good price. But when I do it, I want to give it away at $499 today. Now remember, this is during the webinar. After my previous webinar this morning, someone tried to call the office when I told him not to and to sell it. By the time that Nicole was done, he paid $700. I don't get it. I broadcast 2 to 3 times a day, Monday through Friday and all day Saturday. All right, he should have just sold $499 during the webinar. $1,000 card. Now, everybody wants to be a millionaire. Is that true? You want $1 million paycheck? Raise your hand. Because you only get to keep $375, the rest goes to the IRS. If you want $1 million coming into the corporation, raise both hands. Why? Corporations only pay tax when they make a profit. I understand everybody out of high school had safety credit and they had a corporation and got the million to billion CFO, it would have never brought the pain home in the first place. I'm going to make you the qualified CFO. I'm going to hand you articles, also tax ID. Setup class and level 1, they're on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Go to either one or both. Office sales is for $19.99. I like to give half price when I'm doing a webinar. I want to get you a $10,000 card. I'm going to charge you $999. The average person has wasted thousands. It didn't work. Now you're stuck with me. Okay? Kind of fun. Millionaires in the making. Half price today is $2,499. I give you a $25,000 card, by the way. It's half price. But that one, we should take that and daisy chain it times 3. Could you imagine? All right, 4 of you listened. You took your 25,000 and you turned it into 100,000. I'm proud of you. Thank you for listening to me. Every referral you do, I'll build you another 1,000 of credit for you. So let's understand, if you watch me on Facebook, YouTube, and all right, Google, that's kind of fun. But if you're missing that PowerPoint in front of me, why don't you turn around and go to raiswebinar.com. Get the full overview. Never bring the pain home, please. When I was 7.5, this is what I heard. This is what I researched. You see, when you're being physically, mentally abused by people, and you're a piece of blah, 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 and they drop you off at the pier, and you got to beg and steal, it kind of sucks. So I just stayed pissed off and got the hell out of there as fast as I could. When I heard a corporation's a legal person, oh my goodness. See, my ears, I heard something that I could get my way out of hell. Now, it's not legal advice. It's right in front of you. This is Chapter 18. It says corporations. Read it, please. A corporation is a legal person may sue or be sued. You realize corporations have more rights than you and me? The United States of America Incorporated, they set up their line of defense called states. They're all corporations. They set up their cities. Why? Because they're corporations too. If everybody listened to me right out of high school, safety, credit, line of defense, nobody would ever bring the pain home. Unfortunately, they need to learn to listen to the rules and the tools. Kind of like the people that are open closing their business today. Most of them are filing bankruptcy. Bankruptcy's up to 64%. If they would have turned that into a division, they wouldn't have to bankrupt the rest of the pieces or their family. Unfortunately, they didn't get a hold of me right away. Orange County planned if there was a problem too. You are we the people, aren't you? It's right in front of you. By the way, when Nixon took the gold standard out, you don't understand. It gave them the key to the printing press. They're allowed to print money 24/7 as much as they want to. SSN, get a job, get a 1040 tax return, tax some more. Just the rules, it's public record. Mama, she delivered a baby this morning. Every hospital is federally mandated to literally hand a woman an SSN form within 3 hours or less. Because that baby can't go in the stroller in the car seat. They got to print some more money today. Bottom line is that's how they do it. Safety credit is what we need to teach the world. Your kids. Don't use and abuse credit anymore. Everybody should be a CFO for a corporation. Under the tax ID, we can build a credit report. Some line of defense too. Something goes wrong with the piece, we can act like a grocery store or bank do. Get rid of the piece, just like they do. You see, it's nice, the Reynolds University before the coma. Right, Mr. Glover, you were there many times in those classrooms that hold 800 people at a time. 22,000 square foot building. I was proud of myself, finally. All right, I gave away $18 million that year helping people being retired, just like I'm helping you. Every Saturday at 1 o'clock, when I do your analyzation, if you're up for that case number, and I say do this or that, just follow through. Some of you, I'm waiting for you to finish up. If you do what I tell you to do, most will be 2 things. All right, after they're done, I'm usually done in 90 days or less, unless we got to fix a mess. If Mickey Mouse can avoid paying tax on $1 billion in Newsweek called the Loophole King, so could you. It's up to you too. Personal credit, safety credit. Corporation, we're going to go after cash first. Cash. 8 cards per division. 9 lines of credit. Supply credit, vendor credit, marketing credit, lease credit, gas cards too. You got to be a qualified CFO. That's the bottom line. Now, these are my favorite cards. I want you to think about house, car, and American Express Gold and Platinum. If they're paid over time, all right, those 3 things do not affect your credit at all unless you screwed them up. So if you ever want to get 1 per division, this is 10, by the way. And this is what happens. So yes, I got your facts. And you keep talking about Mr. Major, talking about Ed. Let's see, here it is. All right, Ray, can you build me up a gold card express the same as you did for Ed? The problem is Ed listened. Okay, Ed got a $100,000 card. Paid over time. Nothing affects it, and I told him to max that sucker out. because it didn't affect it. That way we build that card up to $1 million. And he's also multiplied it by divisions. Ed's very aggressive. He follows through. So, all right, if you'd like one, sir, I'm going to tell you flat out, it's during the webinar, answering your question right here. And if you don't do it, I'm sorry, don't ask again right now. So yes, I won't build you a $100,000 card, okay? Because I want to see you follow through. So far, you don't. $25,000 is what I'll put on that card. So I'll get you a gold card, just like this one here. Business, $25,000. I'll preset the limit. I'll set it paid over time, okay? And $25,000, I'm going to charge you $999. Yes, I'm giving you a discount. If you Zelle it during the webinar, you don't Zelle me before I'm done, forget it and don't ask again. It's pretty simple because you've asked before. Now, some of you might want a lot of credit. Unfortunately, we have 3 at the end of the year. They didn't pay their balance. So it's pretty simple. All right? So what happens is these 3 here, we've done all the work, history, everything's ready to go. All I got to do is finish getting you to be that CFO and I can transfer it to you. So what happens is you would just pay their balance, all right, and you get up to the $1 million, $250, or $150. It's pretty simple. And yes, I told someone earlier today, John here, all right, he asked me a question, can I put a deposit on a fallout today, right here, all right, and pay the balance on Friday? I said, if you do, and you Zelle it during the webinar, the answer is yes, but if you don't Zelle me the balance by Friday, you're losing your deposit. I told you that flat out. So the bottom line is, whoever gets them, I only have 3. That's pretty simple to do. Prices are good during webinar. Credit rebuilding, $499. $1,000 card, 90 days of class. Starter package for millionaire, corporations, CFO, setup line 1, setup and level 1, Wednesday and Saturday, up to you, $10,000 of credit. Half price is $999 today. Bottom line is millionaires in the making. Half price is $2,499. You're getting $25,000 of cash credit. Pretty simple. You Zelle, you wire, you deposit. Bottom line is just tell Gina. That way I can have her follow through or make sure it's done for you. Mr. Buffett's father taught him how to leverage. He's playing the game. Why aren't you? It's pretty simple to do. I'm an affiliate for 35 years. I have 10 million of history. Add for you, corporation divisions. So I'm going to tell you, authorized users crap, trade lines are crap. I'm going to add histories and I'm going to make you the qualified CFO. Like Mr. Glover, I expect you to get those cards for every division. I told you to. I want them daisy chained. Okay? And the bottom line is I want them daisy chained like yesterday. Because I want to pop all of it. All right? It took a while for you to get that birth certificate settled and the ID. But the reality is, let's build you up some more. Bottom line is, we get to have fun. You know what? I created, and I can say I invented, there's 113 ways to process daisy chain. That means every card you got in your pocket today, we can daisy chain that too. But here's the problem. You can't write off personal credit cards or interest rates. But corporation, they can write off the card and the interest rate too. What kind of credit should we actually use without abusing it to start a business today? That's why it's called corporate credit. Don't have the intent to rip anybody off and defraud them, please. Here's what I want everybody to do. Corporation, a management company, line of defense, manage their divisions like banks and grocery stores do. Something goes wrong like these people here, they just did the 3-step. Hell, they got away with it. No, they did what they're allowed to. Disconnect, isolate, incorporate. If they couldn't save the piece, they bankrupted the piece, they kept the other pieces. They didn't bring the pain home. I wrote the rules in '86. Can people pay attention today, please? Never bring the pain where? Home. Bottom line is like when you buy that house. It should be escrow, closed, escrow, homestead, escrow, put it in trust. Some of you, I pray, because your house is in your name today, somebody sues you, they take it away. You die, it's stuck into probate. Your family got diddly squat. It's like when you fix up a property today, you're going to hire a contractor. Goody! They're going to hire the subcontractor that's down outside Home Depot. Good workers. But if they slip and fall and they want to sue you and take all you got, they're going to be able to. Because you didn't take the time to think about quickly deeding your properties into divisions and assignment of equities. You didn't protect your assets because you didn't plan the problem before it happened. Like I said, I want to make sure they get diddly squat. Now, if you don't have a trust, why don't you try Googling irrevocable trust? But pick what you want. Now, please, I know 3 of you have been playing peekaboo with the IRS and made a mess. You literally have been circumventing the IRS. IRS is the rule book. It says flat out. All right, corporations pay tax when they make a profit. Why would you? It's amazing that people play peekaboo with the IRS and make a mess. Get your butt back to irs.gov. Download that form called 656 433 A and B. Get your COVID-19 check. Get your butt back in the system where it belongs. Use the rules and the tools they gave us to play with. It's like anything else. I don't want you to pay to fix up that property. Do it my way. Divisions. Go to the manufacturer, save up to 70%. You won't have to pay a bill for 30 to 60 to 90 days. Escrow closes, it pays off all the debt. Now you got up to $200,000 left over. You know, I can show you in leveraging it. Take 1,000, referenced by 3, times it by 5, makes it 15 to $100,000. Borrow money is a gift. Raise rules. Write it down. Leveraging money. Borrow money's not taxable. Set up the line of defense. When I had the Reynolds University, my building was 22,000 square feet in Irvine Spectrum. The bank would be on at the office almost every day. Ray, what can I do for you today? Banks always kiss your assets when you got money. You don't have a pot to piss in. Hell, they don't know your name. Let's get you to leveraging this Saturday. Leverage. The banks do it from the Feds times 10 and loan back 5 to you. If you were to listen and leverage it my way, that's up to $3 million. Raise rules. I'd tell you to use $2 million and go get a McDonald's today. Why? They're open through a drive-through through pandemics, no matter what anybody says or does. They can't close them down. Beating your doubt, running your race. I just like to train you and coach you the rest of my life. All right? Now, let's leverage some money. You ready to play? This is a $100,000 card. It's an ink card from Chase. Let's take $50,000 off the card. All right? That's not going to be but 61226. C191D. Okay? It says loan 8 times, right? If we took $50,000 off that card and we leverage it and we loan it to 5 people, we're going to put a second on their house. How about a homestead block or UCC Winchata mortgage? I invented those 30 years ago, by the way. Now you got $2,449 a month after you pay the bill. That's called free up your time and cash flow. The bottom line is anybody going to teach you free up your time and have the cash flow? I will. Oh, you need more? How about 4,800? You need some more? How about 4347? As much as you get to design your cash flow. Specialty classes. Last Saturday, there was a dozen people that called the office. People don't work on Saturday. I was sold out anyway. So it's pretty simple. When I tell you I'm sold out, I'm sold out. You got to wait for basically, I got Mr. Williams here pissed off. All right? He zelled the money for a class that already ended. He's like, it was 2 days ago. I know, I tried to get a hold of you. The bottom line is leveraging. Every one of you. You have the ability to spend 2 hours with me on Saturday. Leveraging $299. All right, you're going to learn so many things. It's kind of fun. There's the Zell information. In the afternoon, I got a specialty class called Dun & Bradstreet, $299. Again, this is supply and vendor credit. So you can Zell $299 for which one you want, if not both. It's up to you. Now, if you Zelled $500, you'd save $100. But that's during the webinar with me. After the fact, talk to sales. All right, they're never going to discount their prices. They don't want to. I'll always show what I obtained myself. I don't like blah, blah, blah. Mansions, helicopters, all right, yachts, getting past go. This was my favorite one, the God's gift. I parked my race boat and my yacht in my backyard. Where you park yours? Helicopter, Lamborghini building too? I want you to change your driver's license. Can you do that for me, please? Yes, I want it to be a P.O. box or a mailing address, not your address. You gave your address out when you wrote a check the other day, and then you wonder who robbed your house. Ay, ay, ay. Remember something today. Raise rules. Never bring the pain home. Protect your privacy, too. You got the Driver's Privacy Protection Act. You know, it's really weird. You went to a car dealership to buy a car. We're just going to look. So 5, 6 hours later, you came out with a car. But it sweated you for hours. You got up to 5 with the 9 inquiries. That's $5,000 too. They handed you the paper. You should have put your signature. Allows 1 inquiry. You should have took a picture. By the way, the car that you drive today, why isn't it in a registered division? In other words, why are you not changing the registered owner to a division of a corporation with the tax ID? If you bumpity bump or someone bumps you, they're going to sue you and take everything you got. Why would you want to be a duck? I like the Lamborghinis and the buildings and the Ferraris too. Don't you like the goodies? The bottom line is you get to play the game, and I'll build your dream for you too. You see, if you drive your car to that bank and grocery store today, all right, and you bump someone's car, you know what they're going to do? Driver's license, insurance, registration, please. Then your heart's going to fall out of your chest. Remember, the corporation can pay for the insurance. Remember, you don't have to be the registered owner. It could be a division of a corporation versus you. I just want to make sure they get diddly squat. Do you not see all these attorneys on TV called bloodsuckers? Oh well. Grocery stores and banks, get rid of a piece. Stay in business and write it off. But you bring the pain home because you're going to tell me you didn't know. Now you do. Let's play line of defense. 3, pattern of 3. Every one of you, it's like leveraging, taking your current cards you have into divisions and more, or leveraging from the pattern of 3. The goal is not to bring the pain home. If a division screws up, we get rid of a piece, we keep the other pieces, we don't bring the pain where? Home. Everybody needs to know that right out of high school. I didn't go to high school. All right, it's terrible. I tested out at T. Winkle Junior High. I was at Orange Coast College at 14 and a half. Now, my wife wanted to take the yacht out from our backyard with a bunch of people to watch the fireworks on July 4th. So July 3rd, I said fill it up. I wrote off the card, wrote off the interest rate, wrote off the yacht. It was $1,600. Why not? Again, I didn't know I was going to be in a coma. I didn't know my life was going to be destroyed. But I didn't get to come up out of that coma and go boo-hoo-hoo and call mommy and daddy. They threw me away as a little baby boy. So I got my score to an 820. All right, because I knew how to block the crap. I popped a card in 6 weeks of $1 million. Why? Because I have my closet divisions. If some of you are clients today and you're not level 3, why not? I guess you already spent thousands on some other crap. This isn't crap, it works. God's using me to help you today. You gonna pay attention? That Lamborghini building that said the Reynolds University? Whee! Tax ID. Reach the dream. Think can be the impossible. I've done it all my life. You got the ability to change everything you're going to do. Bottom line is simple. Every seminar and workshop you're stuck with me. Millions of dollars to ream. This is 2021. Blackjack here. I want every one of you to follow through. I want you to remember, motivation's great. But if they're not handing you the money and the credit, let's go talk about your life today. Let me get you up to the 820. And I'll pop you up to 100,000 of credit. I won't go past that at all. But I want you to classify it as safety credit. I want you to have a corporation and divisions that I build for you. Up to $1 million. I want you to stop being stuck. What's next is pretty simple. You're stuck with me. We're going to have fun. Sometimes I'm going to piss you off. Why? Because I want to get you past go. All right? The difference is we got to get past this, and we got to repackage your life, your house, your car, your bank account. The ability to do this right. Books and CDs are great. I love the fact that I created things that make sense. And if you got them, you better listen to them again and again and again till they wear out. Today, during this, all right, it's $249. There you go. Pretty simple thing to do. The bottom line is going to be up to you. All I know is that price is if you sell it. Let Gina know, she'll ship it right away. Credit rebuilding. The thing about credit rebuilding is it's going to rebuild and challenge everything through the paralegal department. That's good. Legitimately, state and federal, whatever they have to use. The way to push up a score is a rapid refresh and push it up as high as it can get. There's classes every Saturday at 1 o'clock that are educational. Go as many times as you need to. But if you really want an 820, $1,000 card, it's $499 to you. Pretty simple thing. Starter package for a millionaire, corporations, line of defense, divisions, classes, 90 days. It's $999, and I build you a $10,000 card. Again, Millionaires in the Making Workshop. Instead of $4,000, it's $2,499. I'm popping you a $25,000 card like I did Jesse here. Now understand, if everybody can listen like Jesse does. All right, this beautiful woman, I got her a Venture 1 for $30,000, a Venture for $30,000. All right, then I got her 2 green Spark cards for $30,000 apiece. And I wasn't even done. And then she basically got her son on one of them, and it kind of blocked him too. But then they learned. So today, please, $2,499 today. You Zelle, you wire, you deposit. How did the 14th Amendment turn the corporations into people? The United States of America, they manage their 50 states, their corporations. What does every state do? It manages the divisions, the line of defense. You have to set it up the right way, please. It's the only thing that makes sense. Never have joint credit. House, escrow close, escrow homestead, escrow put in a trust. Corporation, not after your name, all right, and not what it does, please. Up to $1 million of credit. Divisions for real estate, franchise, current business. Learning the line of defense, raise rules will get you the tools you need today. Ultimate goal. Plan the problem. You know, it's like today. Today, half the sales team are gone. They didn't even come in today because they had other important things to do, personal. That's fine. It's like everyone thinks that, it's just no big deal. And then you got the other people in sales that don't really want to be in sales today. I just wish I could have great people who want to accomplish the goal, the dream. But I got to plan on the problem. Okay? Because the wheel still has to turn. These lights and employees still need to be paid. I don't need a paycheck. I don't want one at all. But I'm going to make sure we know about safety credit and line of defense. All I got as a kid was pain. That's why I say never bring the pain home. So if the American dream is what you want, and if you listen to me and go to the classes and write things down and follow through, I'll follow through for you. If people aren't handing you the goodies and the way to finance it, at the end of the day, I still think it's blah, blah, blah. So remember, receiving money every month. Pay your bills. Now, I've never had a car. It's always a corporate car because I want to write it off. It's not mine because the corporation gets to write it off. It's an expense. Now, I've never been on a vacation. What's it feel like using taxable income to go on a business trip? See, business trips, everyone goes on an entrepreneur, looks for opportunity. Helping other people. Free up your time. Simple. It's called the line of defense. Raise rules will change your life. Today, we've got to stay safe and strong no matter what we say or do. We got the ability to do this. Okay? The bottom line is very simple we get to do. Let's remember, okay? All right, as we get to do this, all right, it's pretty simple. So guess what we get to do? We get to stay safe and strong. The ultimate goal today is we have to make sure we follow through. Okay? And the system's going, something is slowing it down. Well, that's just life. See, everything else you have to just plan the problem. So I want to make a comment. I always like to make sure someone follows through on something. Someone had a comment to one of the salespeople. You can call them. Okay. So, staying safe and strong. I build cubicles in the office. Okay? To make sure I don't get their cooties. We got our masks too. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, All right? I want to help you get to be next. Let's always remember, life is a gift from our Father in heaven. God has given us the opportunity to believe and receive. Let's make the best of the day and give thanks in every way. Thank you, Jesus. One more to amen to that. If I can do this, you can do this. Come on. I'm born in a taxi. Okay? I had to get out of hell. You don't like to steal and beg off of a pier. All right? You can let me help you to get to the next level. Now, you got a phone number you can call right away. 800-510-3338. I said that earlier, and someone says, well, Monica's not in today. Thank you. I already know that. So the bottom line is, whoever's in, they'll talk to you. The only thing, let me make sure I answered all the questions. All right, American Express, yes, I did that one. You want to be like Ed. Can I put a deposit on one of those follow-ups? Yes, but you pay by Friday, you lose your deposit. Classes were lower in level 1. Yes, today. All right, classes were lower in the Dun & Bradstreet and the leveraging class. And you didn't sell it during the time. You were in level 1, so I gave you a discount. Now you're not. So guess what? Your discount ended when you didn't sell it during the webinar. That's sales. Okay? Simple. So, I answered all the questions. Ultimate goal. If you're interested in those fallouts, there's only 3. All right? So the goal is this. At the end of the day, never, never forget. God loves us all.